Welcome back to Vlogmas Day 11. Today is homemade gifts. I've had a few people ask me if I am on Instagram. I am Lindsay's Recycled_Bliss. So check that out, and if you haven't subscribed, please think about it. Press that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel. Thanks to everyone who's returning. So today is a French country table. This little table was thrifted a little while ago. I sanded it down with a very fine sandpaper, and then I painted it with some homemade chalk paint. It's very easy to do. It is 1/3 of a cup of plaster of Paris, 1/3 of a cup of tepid, lukewarm water, and then 1 cup of flat paint, any colour, it'll all work. And this is mixed together in, you mix together the plaster of Paris and the warm water to make a paste, and then add in your latex. This little piece, because it was quite dark, took 3 coats. I gave it very light sanding between each coat. I'll show you the finished article afterwards. My next project is French prints. Now this was from a calendar that I bought probably about 5 years ago. This calendar was a quite expensive calendar, but it was absolutely beautiful, and I've kept it waiting to find the right picture frames, which I found recently. So what I've done is I've taken the back off the picture frames. This one particularly had little almost like the little clips that you get from IKEA. So what I did was I started to take them out and then realized they would just fold back. So I took a few out and then folded the rest back once I realized I didn't actually have to take them out. Duh. So I removed all the picture that was in the front of this picture frame. It had a really nice mat which really went with the pictures that I was putting in from the calendar. So I took the original picture out, put my picture in, and this was the finished result. I had 2 versions, one of Versailles and one a map of Paris, and they turned out beautifully. And finally, I'm making dog treats. This is 2½ cups of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 egg, 1 cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of honey, and you bake in a 350-degree oven for 18 to 20 minutes. And you just throw everything into the bowl. I've got the flour and the egg in there. Then I'm going to add the water and the peanut butter and the honey. Now what I did was we made a very dry mixture, so I added a little bit more water, which made it a little bit too wet. So if you just stick to the recipe and it'll all mix together, try not to add too much water as I did, because it made it a bit stodgy. But it all came out in the mix, and once it was down, it was a little sticky, but I just added a little bit extra flour once I was rolling out the recipe. So once it's all mixed together, you can empty that down onto a floured table or surface. I use my countertops, and a little bit of flour just stopped it from sticking, and I put it on the rolling pin, and I didn't have too many issues at all. You don't want your mixture to be too thick, because you'll have to get your cookie cutters to break the pastry, so obviously you want it to cut. I went through a couple of different cutters because they just weren't cutting. I'd bought some, if you remember, in a thrift haul, and I'm finding some of them just don't work. They're too shallow, so you can't get it. The pastry has to be very, very thin for it to work. Anyway, this is what we're doing now. We're rolling out the dough, and we tried this first one with this little dog, and I found it just wasn't cutting properly, and then it was sticking to the dough, so I ended up changing this out. I came back to it afterwards when I had the dough very, very thin, but for the time being I did try this one, and it really wasn't brilliant, so I went back to my good old-fashioned plastic cutters, and they worked perfectly. So I have a few different ones. You can see I just gave up on that one because it just wasn't working, so I went back to the plastic, like I said. So this was the second try, and these little plastic cutters worked perfectly. I've had these for absolute years and they always work. So I did Christmas stockings for the little dogs, and then I did stars for the bigger dogs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in little gift packs and give them as Christmas gifts. Obviously, that's what we're doing today. So I made a lot. This dough makes so many cookies. So you can actually, if you just have your own dog or just doing it for a couple of dogs, you can cut the recipe in half and you will have more than enough cookies. Believe me. So I put them on baking sheets with parchment paper, and I made, I think, 4 batches. And again, 350 oven for 20 minutes. And here are the finished cookies. Well, some of the finished cookies. I just put a few in the bowl and wanted to show you.
Look at all those yummy cookies, Dudley. Does Dudley want a cookie? Does my daughter's want a puppy? Was it? A puppy. Yum, 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 yum. What you think, Dudley? It's yummy, Mommy. Actually, I can imagine Dudley with an English accent. Why, Mother? It's quite delectable. Thank you so much. More, Mother? Please, can I have some more, Mummy? You're gonna give me your puppy dog eyes. Are you? Okay, one little one. A little bitty one. Little bitty one. This is a candy cane for puppy. Oh, was it? Another one. Oh, thank you, Mommy. Oh, thanks, Mommy. Yum, yum, yum. Puppy dog eyes. That's it. No more. No more. Woofers. Oh, cheeky boy. What you want? You want some more? You want some? Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Tell me what you want. I want some more, Mommy. Oh.
So this is the finished table. I did stencil on top. I ran over it with the sanding block once I was finished and gave it a bit of an aged look. So I then coated it with some Mod Podge, and then this is the Paris map and the Versailles map, and very happy with how they turned out as well.